What's up? Quazi here, and I'm finally getting done with the semester, so getting more and more time to make videos. But today, what I want to share with you is the 4 levels of energy control. Now, before I begin, let's begin with an understanding of the experiences in life that we're getting. So every single day, things are happening to you, and you're internalizing them a certain way. And you feel a certain way about certain thoughts that are happening. So thoughts that occur in your brain or in your mind space, they're producing certain reactions in your body. And these are emotional reactions that are occurring. So as a result of these, you're living your life in a certain way and you're accustoming yourself to certain habits and you're establishing a certain comfort zone for yourselves, whether consciously or unconsciously, subconsciously. And as a result of doing it subconsciously, you end up living in your comfort zone and you're afraid to expand your comfort zone because of the pain you may incur as a result of going to unknown territory. Now, the 4 levels of energy control is mainly concerned with how you internalize these experiences. So the first level of energy control is repression. So anytime an event occurs in your life that you don't quite like, it's an unwanted experience, what you're doing is subconsciously repressing it. So you're pushing it down on a subconscious level that you can't even recall it consciously. And anytime something similar occurs in reality that closely, even slightly resembles that event, it triggers your subconscious and you start to experience these unwanted feelings and you can't explain why you're feeling them in the first place. And this is causing a lot of blockage for you and in the law of attraction sense as well, because it's preventing you from doing the things you need to do in order to get where you want to get to. But on top of that, it's also preventing you from even seeing the opportunities that exist. And if you can't see what exists, then you can't capitalize on it. The next level above repression is suppression, where an event occurs and you don't quite want to experience it, so you just suppress it down. And once you keep suppressing something enough and it gets more and more painful, it eventually becomes a repressed memory. So let's say you walk through a corridor in your school hall and someone you don't like walks past and makes a funny face looking at you. You're going to suppress that memory because it's going to be painful and you're going to get a lot of history of that bullying that occurred previously that made you dislike that person in the first place. So a lot of those memories are going to accumulate together, and once they accumulate enough and enough pain is caused, it becomes a repressed memory. You'll see that parts of those memory you're going to forget. Consciously you're going to forget, but subconsciously everything is stored. The next level above suppression is the level of expression. Anytime you feel anger, you'll see that you want to express it. Now, the good thing about expression is it's much higher than suppression or repression, and there is much more energy at the level of expression. So when you express something, let's say you feel angry and you start punching walls or a punching bag and you express this anger. What happens is this anger lets itself out, so you're releasing a little bit of it. However, even though you're releasing some of it, you're keeping this anger alive by the mere virtue of its expression. So once you express this anger, it doesn't really release, which is what you want to ultimately get to. Even when you feel sorrow, once you start crying, you express it a little bit, but the energy of it is being kept alive through the mere act of just letting it out into the world. So it becomes a continuous cycle that comes back. Anyway, what we really want to get to is the final level, which is level 4, the level of surrender or release. Now, to understand this much deeper, let's understand the events in life that occur. Everything that occurs in life, any single experience that occurs to you, is occurring to you because it wants to pass through you. Anytime energy gets stagnant, that's when we have problems. Anytime energy gets blocked within you, then it takes the form of repressed, suppressed memories. Now, if you don't let these energies and these experiences of life flow through you, whether it be positive events or even negative events, then they become a perpetual source of agony, especially negative events. Positive events are still meant to pass through you, but every time you suppress a positive event, you can still access it and you get positive emotions from it sometime, whenever any sort of experience reflects that positive memory. But it is still meant to pass through you, just like every single experience in life. That's why a lot of what I like to teach focuses more on the flow of energy and letting energy flow through you, just as the experiences in life are supposed to flow through you. So understanding the level of surrender and release really relates to this law of life where everything must flow through you. Any experience in life that you go through must have an inlet and an outlet. So how do we establish this high level, this level 4 of surrender, and how do we continually live in surrender and release? Well, one way to really understand that is to adapt a mindset of the silent witness. What does that mean? Well, you become the silent witness when you start to take a step back from yourself, from your mind, from your body, and you start to observe the thoughts that pass. And you'll see that a lot of meditation, Eastern philosophy, focuses on this observation of thoughts, because once you start to identify with the mind and identify with the thoughts, there isn't that distance that exists between you and your thoughts, and you become your thoughts. And once you become your thoughts, you're continually reacting to your thoughts. So you'll be doing one task, so you'll be studying for one of your exams, and you'll all of a sudden remember that you had to text this person or you had to email this employer. And what happens? You immediately react to that thought and you just take the track of that thought. And it's a dangerous way to live, because this reacting to your thoughts is making you a slave to your mind. And this is exactly what we do not want to do. Human beings are different from animals, and it's a beautiful thing that we are, in the way that we can be introspective and we can experience our own existence. The ability to experience our own existence gives us a spiritual edge towards other living organisms. And this spiritual edge allows us to experience more of life fully and actually control the direction our lives are taking. We're not reacting to our biological desires all the time because we can say, no, I don't want to do this now. The act of release basically lets life pass through you. And the tool that's going to help you do that is basically just every single day being so observant of your thoughts and just letting every single thought be there. Every time you get a sort of unwanted experience, an unwanted thought that comes to your mind, you just sit back and you observe it. You let it be there and you just let it pass, just like every single event in life is meant to pass through you. And once you do this, you'll see that you'll constantly energize yourself and you'll never be at a lack of energy to begin with. Establishing the silent witness is the most important thing you can do for yourself, because it essentially gives you the power to consciously take control of your life. Anything you want to do, you are able to do. And the more and more conscious you become of your thoughts and your general well-being, the more in control you become, the better you get at releasing and surrendering to the events in life that are occurring apparently to you, the more in control you become. It's a great paradox, but the better at surrender you become, the more control you gain. That is what I wanted to talk about today. So thanks for watching this video and I hope it helped. If you want more clarification on it, I'm also growing a massive Facebook group where I share a lot of this kind of concept with people who are interested. So if you are, click on the link in the description below to join, and I'll see you there. Till next time, peace.